everyone, welcome back to my channel. So if you guys are new here, my name is Paulina and I'm so happy that you guys clicked on my channel to be here with me. We're here today because I want to unbox these boxes with you guys. So these orders, we order them through our department. So each teacher in my ELA department, which is my department, English Language Arts, each teacher has a certain amount that we could spend on, and we have a small budget. It's not a lot, but it's definitely something that helps us, or at least helps me, because I know most of the items that I do have for my classroom, I buy out of my pocket, and these small shipments that we're able to receive from our company, which is obviously built, helps me tremendously. So I want to go ahead and show you guys what I order so that you guys can open with me. So I'm gonna open now. A couple things that I like to have with me when I'm opening my boxes are scissors, of course, to open these big old boxes, a pen, so I have this pen from Oregon that I got, and a notepad. So like paper, honestly it doesn't matter, just like a paper and notepad, something, because I like to write down the materials that I get from when I order. So I know they should have labels in them, kind of like a shipping label where it has like an inventory list of what you ordered. I make sure that I write down those materials so that I do not lose track of what I order for my classroom, so that I'm able to see what I need to order on my own or with my personal money, or things like that. So I just want to say thank you to the schools that are able to provide for the teachers, because I know there's so many teachers that invest out of their pocket to get materials for their classrooms. And like I said, this is a small budget that I get, but it's something that each and every one of my students uses in my classroom and that we utilize for my lessons, for activities, for collaboration, for all that good stuff. So I went ahead and did two orders. This is the first order, so I'm gonna open the first order with you guys, and then I will do a different video and open the second order with you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's do it. Okay, so scissors, and let's open. Okay. Should I open the big box? Okay, let's open the big box. Honestly, if there's a procedure on how to open boxes, let me know. I know it should be a safe way, but this is how I do it. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so here, just like I mentioned, our orders will always get pretty much the amount of quantity that we received from our orders and then the order on it. So like I said, I like to still make sure that I write this down or check off that I got these items, because I don't want to spend money that the school gives me and I have a mistake in the box, that something I didn't order or something that I'm missing. So like I said, I always want to make sure that I double check and cross off that I received those items. So I'm excited. Okay, stuff for my classroom that we use. Okay, so here is what the box looks like. And again, this is my first order, these two here. So let's begin. Okay, so, oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm acting surprised right now. Because, okay, I got 80 markers in 8 diverse shades, okay, and these are the washable markers. Multicultural, ultra clean, washable markers. The reason why I'm so surprised is because in the picture online, this looks humongous. And this is tiny. This is tiny. What? Okay, I'm going to open this just because, like I said, I want to check the size of it. Only because this was expensive. And I bought the last order that I received from the last order I made. I bought those big boxes of crayons, and I thought that was the box that I would receive, and I'm just realizing this is a very tiny box. But honestly, it's okay. Like I said, 80 markers. It should have 80 markers in here, so I am just thankful. I'm grateful that I have something for my students to draw on their posters when we do activities or on anything that we need in the classroom. So let's open this really quick. So you open it to the sides, and let's see. What? What? Oh my god. Okay, I was like, okay, this is so crazy. Okay, so this is ta-da, this is what you get for the unboxing video. Okay, so 80 markers, which looks about right, but look at the colors that I got. I'm sad because I feel so I feel out of it because look at these colors. This is not going to work on my students. Brown, nudes, baby pink. Oh my gosh. I just realized this. How? I ordered the wrong markers. Okay, so first of all, I ordered the wrong size and the wrong markers. So I'm kind of sad because I was so excited for my students to use these. And now, I mean, I guess I could still use them, but you know, obviously we want to utilize color like green, red, because I'm an ELA teacher and I know we use a lot of color coding in our essays and in our written assignments. When we're doing short responses, I like for students to highlight like the topic sentence, to highlight the evidence, and through that, highlighters are a great tool, which I also did order. You will see right now, and they are a great tool. But obviously, having markers too is a big saver. Just in case our students do not have highlighters, I'm able to provide them with markers, you know, and they still have the color, the green, the red, purple, yellow, all that good stuff. So I am definitely going to see if I could return these. So thankfully I have the shipping label. I'm going to talk to my school site and see if I can make that change. If not, I will make use of them, definitely, because just because I'm a little bummed out of the color doesn't mean that we will not use them. I know I can use these somehow. Every teacher knows how to utilize their supplies, so I will definitely use these. Like I said, I'm just kind of bummed out. It wasn't a big box that I expected, and it definitely was not the colors I expected. So here we go. Box number 1, crayons. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so as I mentioned, I did order highlighters. Okay, so I ordered a pack of 12, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, perfect, because it's opened. But other than that, I ordered highlighters, and I ordered a pack of 4 highlighters, so a class set. Okay, so in my classes, I have 37 students in most of my classes, so I ordered a class set. And if you guys know, these were pretty cheap. These were, okay, it doesn't give me the price, but these were actually really cheap, or they are really cheap from Office Depot. So I didn't get like the actual typical highlighter brand, but I got the Office Depot brand, and honestly they work just as great. And they're very affordable. So if you are a teacher and you're looking into grabbing highlighters, you can definitely grab these from Office Depot. Like I said, they're cheap and they're affordable. So I got a class set of 4. Okay, so definitely need more highlighters, because again, in my classroom we use a lot of highlighters. I always tell my students to highlight keywords, definitions, academic vocabulary that are unfamiliar to them, etc. So I always use highlighters in my classroom, and I like to have them handy. I usually keep them in a container, and I have my students pass them out and then drop them back into the bin or into the container when we're done. And I always have leaders in my classroom to help me pass out the supplies, which they love to do that. Okay, next thing here is a pack of markers. So these markers are easel pad markers. Okay, so these are amazing. So let's see, I have a pack of, let me cross this out here actually. So crossing out, so highlighters, I did get those 12 pack and I got 4, perfect. So check that off. The markers that I did get and I got 1. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing are my easel pad markers. Okay, so same thing, I got the easel pad markers from the Office Depot brand, and I've used these before and they're great. These have a bullet tip. Okay, so I like chisel tip too, but bullet tip is really nice for you to kind of like write out your sentences, or write out Cornell notes, or write out anchor charts or things like that. So the colors are not so bad. I didn't get bright colors because I do have a few bright colors that I received from my last shipment that still have lasted me. But these easel pad markers I use for myself when I do a lot of gallery walks, or I do a lot of interactive collaboration activities where students are discussing group questions, and I have them posted around my classroom and they write on post-its. They go ahead and respond to them. I also have posters that my students create themselves, and again, I give them easel pad markers just so it's easier for them to write out their assignment, whatever I have them do that day on the poster. And a lot of students write middle school. I'm a middle school teacher, so a lot of my students' penmanship isn't so great. So I think bullet tip markers are an easy way for them to smoothly write out their assignment on their posters. So awesome. So I got 3 of these, and these easel pad markers, yes, 3 packs. Awesome. So I'm going to place that there, and I'm going to check off the easel pad markers. Okay, next thing is I got pencils. Okay, so every teacher knows that we need pencils in our classrooms, and we cannot. There's a poem that I read that I'm going to link down below that is very heartwarming, and it makes us teachers realize how pencils is an important part of our class daily routine. Of course, students should have pencils, but we should not, at least in my school, I work at a Title I school, and I definitely do not penalize students for not having a pencil. And at the end of the day, every student goes through their own struggles, and I remember being in my students' shoes and struggling to have a pencil or to get a pencil, or honestly, some, they're children, they lose pencils, which is fine. But I do have a system of how I take and give pencils. So I got 2 packs, and thankfully I set my expectations really well at the beginning of the year and at the beginning of this semester. So not a lot of students come up to me to get a pencil. But if they do, they have to return to me something in exchange, and they do it within the first 3 minutes of class. And it's been a great system so far. They're ready. If they know they don't have a pencil, I tell them it's not about being timid and asking for a pencil. It's about you being responsible and getting a pencil. Even if you don't come with a pencil to class, I like to hear you asking your peers that you need a pencil. I like for you to come up to me and ask me, Ms. Aguna, I need a pencil. I think that is what they need to practice. They need to practice them getting a pencil versus them being so scared of the teacher and sitting in the desk and not doing anything because they're scared to ask for a pencil, right? I feel like teachers should provide to them, to the students, despite the circumstance, despite the situation, with expectations and with the system in place. And if that's working out, then you should do it. And that's working out in my classroom. So I got 2 more packs of pencils, and I'm definitely going to check that because I received that. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, next thing that I have. Okay, wow. I just realized this. Okay, I am so sad because I'm getting my orders wrong, and I don't know why. So these 2-pack paper self-stick notes, where are they? No, 2-pack. Okay, so yeah, I definitely need to pay attention more to what I'm ordering. And I'm so sad because these are the little Post-its. There's 12 packs. There's 12 pads in here. But these are so tiny. And I mean, I already know how I'm going to use them. I'm already thinking about them. Like, I already know how. But I originally wanted the bigger ones, like the standard size. So this is a tip to all the teachers that are ordering online. Double check what you're reading, because clearly people make mistakes and we do not order correctly. Okay, so what a bummer. But again, like I said, every teacher will always know what to do with supplies. So I already know what I'm going to use these for. Okay, I'm planning on using these on my students' curriculum booklets that we have. I like for them to analyze on Post-it notes and to kind of put on their booklet. I also use interactive notebooks in my class. So this is a great tool for them to use, Post-its that will fit in their spiral notebook. So this is great. I know that the standard Post-it size are better because there's more room, but I know there's just a couple things that sometimes I want them to jot down, and it's kind of like a waste of Post-it, or the standard Post-it, if they're only using the top part of the Post-it. So this is actually the perfect size for them to use in their interactive notebooks or in their curriculum booklets. So I'm so excited, and like I said, it's a bummer that I didn't get the ones that I wanted, but I know already from the top of my head how I'm going to use these. So I'm very excited still. Okay, so next thing is a Paper Pro hole puncher. Okay, so my students are missing, to be honest, a 3-hole paper puncher, and I do not have one in my class. So I know my students usually come up to me and tell me, Miss Laguna, do you have a 3-hole puncher? And I don't have one. So I told myself, okay, it's time to get one, because I don't use folders, like a folder system in my classroom. I use, again, the interactive notebooks. So most of the time my students, everything that they have are in their interactive notebooks or pasted onto their interactive notebooks. So most of the time I do not give them loose leaf sheets of paper. So I think when they do ask me, however, they're for their other classes. But again, I'm a teacher and I service all students, okay? It's not just my students. I service any students that would like to come and get help from my class. So I felt really bad not having a 3-hole puncher when students do come up to me and ask for me that. So I went ahead and ordered one, and like I said, this will stick with me for a great amount of years. I already know, unless it messes up, but other than that, I know it's gonna stick with me. You know, teachers use the same supplies, or at least supplies that will last over and over every year. So maybe I might change my system later on throughout my teaching years into a folder system or a handout system. I don't know, but I know this will be useful definitely for my classroom. Okay, and I'm going to check that off my list, which is the which is the punch 12 sheets. Okay, so the next thing is a stapler. Okay, so again, all teachers, if you already know, we all need staplers in our classrooms. I used to have 3. One, I take home all the time to grade at home. So when I'm grading at home and there's any loose leaf sheets of paper, I staple them, and you know, I kind of do that stuff. Or I attach rubrics at home while I'm grading, so I make sure that I have a stapler with me at home, or red pen with me at home, Post-its with me at home. You know, the whole grading technique when I go home, and I use those supplies up too. And sometimes I leave that stapler at home, which is okay, but when I need them in my classroom, they're not here. So that stapler stays with me at home, and I decided that it will be staying with me at home so that I don't have to come back and forth with it. Now, I had 2 more staplers. I say had because one of them, I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if one of my students stole it, got it, if I lost it, if I lent it to another teacher and they never returned back to me, but I don't know what happened to a stapler, and I've had that stapler for about 2 years now. So like I said, I don't know what happened to it, and it's okay. I'm not gonna hunt someone down for a stapler, but I definitely need one in my classroom, and I have one right now that I bought out of my pocket, and it's a good brand, and it's very useful. So I went ahead and used the school's budget money so I can buy another stapler so that my students have easy access to staple papers, or if I'm going around and stapling stuff, I can easily have a leader and help me out too. So I definitely want to have 2 staplers in my class. So I will be in blue setting. It's a color black by Swingline. Here it is. So I'm going to go ahead and check that off too. So, stapler, here we go. Okay, and we're at the last couple of stuff. So this next one, every teacher needs, every student needs. So I went ahead and ordered another pack. So I ordered a pack of 500 line sheets of college roll paper. Here is the second pack. And so the reason why I ordered this is because there will be days where students do not bring the materials, students do not have paper, students need paper. And again, I do not want to penalize any students for not having paper or for not having pencils. Only because, like I said, I've been in my students' shoes before, and I know I've struggled with having paper before. I've struggled with having pencils before. And most of the time, it was out of my control, and it was due to, you know, personal reasons. And every student, there's bound to be one student in a classroom that is going through the same or similar situation where they are struggling, and it is not because they forgot, it is because it is out of their control. So I definitely want to provide for my students, like I said, any materials that I need for them to succeed, okay? And if it's paper, I'm going to give them paper. If it's a pencil, I'm going to give them a pencil. I'm going to give them everything they need for them to succeed, whether it's just simple things like this, okay? Every student deserves supplies, and so, like I said, these are class sets, and some of the pencils, you know, I use them as a class, but paper I definitely want to have so that I have it handy for my students to grab if they need some. I also use a lot of loose leaf when substitutes are in my classroom, only because when I do give my lessons, I do a lot of handouts. I do a lot of interactive notebooks, etc. So when substitutes are here, I think my best chance of getting work back and getting it in one piece. And if you guys know what I mean, it's just an easier way to collect work back, because I know students will give me back a loose sheet of paper with a journal entry, etc., versus them not doing the work or something like that. So line sheet of paper is a good thing. So this is it for the first box. Okay, so I have a total of line sheets of paper. I have a total of 4 highlighter packets, and these are a class set for my students. I have a total of 3 8-count of easel pad markers, and these are for my students' posters, for my anchor charts, etc. So we're going to share as a class too. I have a stapler to add on to my leaders in class that like to staple people's papers, or that can help me during class to staple papers. I have these self-stick notes that are very small but are definitely useful, that I know I will use during my students' interactive notebooks and or their curriculum booklets. I have a 3-hole puncher for paper, and again, this is not necessarily for my own class, but it's for any student that comes to me that needs to hole punch their papers. So I will give them my 3-hole puncher so that they can use. The next thing is 2 packets of 72 pencils. This is great for me just to have always, no matter what. So I went ahead and made sure that I got pencils for my students. And the last thing are these markers that I accidentally ordered incorrectly. So I'm going to see if I can return these, and if not, like I said, I will utilize them in any way that I can. So here are the markers. And that is what I got for the first box. And the last thing I need, here is one thing that is very essential in my classroom as well. And every time I have an opportunity to order through my school site, I always make sure that I grab these, because, like I said, these are essential in my classroom. And the reasons are because I use this system in my classroom, and it's the best system that I've seen so far that has worked with all of my students. And that is notebooks. So here are more notebooks. Here I have a pack of 6. So it's an alternative way to learn. It's interactive. It keeps students engaged. They're able to decorate. They're able to be organized, because I have a table of contents and every single page counts. So for example, if I have a journal entry assignment in page 6, every single student will have that journal entry done on page 6 on that right side or left side, whatever I have them do. And it's just helped my students be so organized. I obviously need these in my classroom so that just in case any student that needs a notebook, I am able to easily give them one. And like I said, I have no problem with giving notebooks to my students. If obviously I order them, or even if they tell me that they need one, I will go out of my way to personally buy one for them, because again, every student struggles differently, and I don't think that we should penalize students for not having materials. If that's a case that is out of their control, I will definitely go out of my way to get some for them. So I have 1, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 packs. So I have a total of 8 packs of 6 notebooks each, and obviously these are not for 165 students, but like I said, I can have them handy for if any student needs one. So the next thing I'm going to do is make sure that I write down everything on my inventory on my notebook or my notepad, so that I know that this is what I got, and I can keep track of this throughout my semesters, throughout my years. Here's my list, and this is the last thing that I do. So there you have it. I hope that you guys really enjoyed being here with me today, seeing how I opened these boxes for you, and that you enjoy this haul, because again, a lot of the materials that I get from my students, I try to aim for the goals that I have that semester or that year. So for example, if I know I'm going to be doing a bunch of collaborative strategies with posters and markers, I want to make sure that I have those materials for my students so that they can get the full experience of that collaboration activity. So here you have it. I really hope, like I said, you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being being here again. Make sure that you guys subscribe to my channel. My name is Paulina, and for those of you guys that are new here, I'm so happy to see you guys and to see that you clicked on my channel to view this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe for more videos because I have a lot of good things in mind for teachers and just everyday stuff like lifestyle and traveling and makeup and beauty, because I also love that too. But here is what I do during my day, and it's my career, and I love my career. I've always wanted to be a teacher since I was a little girl, and I just love it. So this here to me is these unboxing hauls for teachers I love. So like I said, stay tuned to watch more videos from me and more content from me. I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you so much, and catch you guys later. Bye.